Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. There was a dev talk just released, so today we're diving into some of the new exciting details of the upcoming Way of the Winter PvE scenario dropping on October 17th. Now, this is the next major update and new scenario for Once Human, and it's going to be packed with new content, phases, mechanics, and it finally takes us to a new spot on the map. So let's jump right into what we can expect from the Way of the Winter scenario. The Way of the Winter scenario breakdown. So this scenario is going to consist of 5 phases instead of the normal 6, each with unique challenges and rewards. So here's the breakdown of each phase. Phase 1, Arctic Domain. This is going to be 7 days long, which is a change from the normal 5-day phase 1. So we'll see how that plays out, as I already think that the starting phase is too long and restrictive. So waiting a whole week before the rest of the map opens up isn't my optimal gameplay experience. However, they are bringing us pro mode sooner, so maybe this will just end up being a wash. Now, in this phase, the extreme cold is the main challenge, with the wind and snow making survival tough. I'm not sure how this is going to affect our character or what we'll need to do to negate this, but I'm guessing it will likely involve food or augmenting our gear of some sort. We'll also have access to all the public crisis events, which is nice. Hale's Moving House, which I guess is returning, Cargo Conquest, and Securement Silos. So I am liking that they aren't locking us out from the higher end content here, so maybe the 7 days won't be so bad if we at least have like those higher level Securement Silos that we can play in. The available areas of the map are going to be Vena Ford and Onyx Tundra. I'm not sure where they're located. We'll have to wait till we get an actual map so that we can point out, what exactly is opening or not opening. For the Wish Machine, we're just going to have the Echoes from the Rift, which is our standard week 1, nothing special banner. Phase 2 will be Scattered Ash. Now this one's going to last 8 days. Again, a change from what they normally have. In here it says that lava flows and scorching air replaces the cold, bringing new challenges to the table. And again, I'm guessing this may involve food or augmenting gear. I'm not sure yet. So I'm looking forward to seeing how those game mechanics are going to change between the phases and the different areas that we go. I think that's going to be really cool. I'm kind of picturing like a Conan-esque type where you need special gear to go into the different locations. So we will see. There will be new gameplay. The Emerald Strand area is going to unlock with the Dungeons in Hard mode, and the Seasonal Progress task, Eliminate the Chaos Weaver, also becomes available here. Now, I'm not sure if they are considering monoliths as dungeons, since they're not mentioned at all, or if there's something else. I know they consider the Forsaken Giant a dungeon in Manibus, so maybe the monoliths are the dungeons and that's what's opening up. The Wish Machine banner is going to include Destructive Flames and Blazing Fire, which I believe are new, but it's also going to include the Lone Wolf set, which is fantastic because it's used in a lot of top tier builds, so this is a great opportunity to level up that gear set if you already have it for the end game. So I'm glad we're finally getting something good because I don't know a single build that uses the Stormweaver set that they keep trying to push on us. Phase 3, A Glimmer of Hope, is going to be 10 days long, so this is similar to our Phase 4s and 5s that we see in Manibus, so that's pretty much staying the same. This phase is all about working with other metas to survive and build, and they emphasize building together. So I don't know what that means, but it sounds like there's going to be some tasks that the server does together to build up. I'm going to take a guess here, but maybe there'll be like a town that upgrades in front of us. Like we'll see the different phases of it as we move through the milestones. So maybe we'll need to do events or donate materials to progress, and then there'll be like some Starcom unlock for each section that we get through, similar to Phase 5 in Manibus. Now don't quote me on this. It's just what I'm picturing. I'm sure we'll know more when they do the dev stream in the next week or so. We're also getting access to pro mode dungeons, so that means we'll have meaningful content by day 16, which isn't terrible considering it's like 23 days before we get it in the Manibus scenario. However, I would like to see the pro modes move to phase 2. There's really no reason why it shouldn't be, considering most of our characters will be either on season 2, 3, or 4 once we enter this scenario. That means that we're not going to be getting any upgrades until the season's almost over, and that really feels bad. The wish machine's also going to stay the same. Phase 4, the end of Ice and Fire. So another 10-day duration, again similar to what we have now. And in this one it says Giants of Ice and Fire emerge in this phase, shaking up the battlefield. So we'll face off against the Frost and Flame event, and we'll eliminate the Chaos Weaver while building thermal towers to protect our faction. So this all sounds pretty cool to me, so I am looking forward to it. The Wish Machine prize pool looks like they're going to be opening up the Tranquil Frost, which includes the legendary weapon blueprint for the Tranquil Frost, and the Frost Domain, featuring the snow camouflage gloves, Blackstone hood, Blackstone jacket, and Blackstone shoes. Now, this sounds like all new stuff, so make sure you save your Starcrom for it in case it's good. I don't have any details on them yet, but once I do, I'll be sure to update everyone. Phase 5, Break of Dawn. So the duration of this is 28 days, which sounds like a movie title. This is going to be the wrap-up phase where you can finalize your remaining goals and choose your next scenario. While there's nothing new in this phase, you'll have plenty of time to finish up and leave the server whenever you want. So this is our standard phase 6 grace period to close out your activities and then take off. If you choose not to leave the server will close up automatically at the end, and then you'll just be sent to the Eternal Land where you can hang out till you're ready to move to a new server and scenario. Getting into a lot of the bigger features, we have a tags update preview. So starting on October 17th, the seasonal tags will now be consistent across all servers. And I've spoke about this before, but previously different servers had different super anomaly countermeasures. For example, one server, the super anomalies might be weak to fast gunner, while on the other server it would require unstable bomber. So moving forward, it looks like all the servers are going to have the same super anomalies, and these anomalies will take damage from a variety of the damage types. So this is great news because it means more players will have ways to contribute damage, and we'll see more diversity in builds with the added Cradle Overrides. Now I imagine they take all the damage types, they just then split them into 2 between the 2 mobs, and then they add overrides to cover the rest so that everyone can participate. Cradle Override changes. So now, speaking of Cradle Overrides, this is where it gets interesting. The Way of the Winter patch is expected to introduce significant reworks to weapon builds, with buffs coming to all the weapons and new mechanics for keywords. So this is going to shake up the meta. Instead of just a few weapons being viable, I think we'll see a lot more builds become effective, giving us a wider range of options for PvE and PvP. So it's definitely something to look forward to, especially if you've been feeling limited by your current loadouts. So I would expect to see new meta builds emerge as the changes roll out. Blueprint conversions. So let's talk about the blueprint conversions a little bit, which is going to be a massive new feature dropping with the update. Since the Cradle Override changes will likely impact our weapon viability, this feature is going to allow you to transfer your upgrades from one weapon to another. So if a new weapon becomes the new go-to for your playstyle, you won't have to grind from scratch. You can convert the star levels of any unlocked blueprint to another blueprint of the same rarity and type. You'll get a set number of conversion attempts, and they'll refresh periodically, so I don't think this is going to end up being abused. I'd imagine it's going to work similar to how we can reset our memetics, where you do a thing that gives you a token to transfer, and then it's probably limited to like 1 per week or 1 per phase, so we won't be hot swapping builds. It sounds more like a gradual conversion, so this is really nice. So say you have a shrapnel build and you've got your weapon up to 4 stars, but you want to switch to a power surge build. Instead of having to start from scratch and work that power surge up, and basically lose your damage in the meantime, you can then take your shrapnel gun and then transfer those stars over, and then boom, you already have like a really nice outer space SMG power surge build that you can just start off right with, and nothing was wasted. So I think this is a good thing for the game, considering how finite StarCrom is. So that's the dev update and a sneak peek of what's coming in the Way of the Winter patch. This update is going to introduce new strategies, shake up the meta, give us new ways to gear up. Let me know in the comments what you're most excited for, or if there's anything you're concerned about. As always, if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more Once Human content as we get closer to the release date. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.